Okay, cool. So, it's going to be one of my first videos that's a bit like dark. But we don't cry about perfectionism over here, right? Imperfect action. So, I want to talk about, I'm going to get started. What's going on, people? So, another day, another bit of my experiences, wisdom gained over mistakes, learning from those who know more, ancient scriptures, you know how it goes, man. So the title of this is You Got to Know Big Money versus Small Money. And what spurred this video on is that it's going to sound like a bit shady or whatever it is, but it's just a bit, it's done with no malice and no ill intentions, but I'm going to use someone as an example, right? So I started speaking to somebody, I think it's got to be like months and months ago, right, in the DMs, right? And they were a friend, or they went to a gym with one of our former clients, so they probably saw his results and started following us and everything, right? And yeah, man, started to talk to this person and just, you know how it goes, man, just general conversation, seeing if we can help. And I think I jumped on a sales call with a person, and they just didn't have the money at the time to work with us on a one-to-one basis. But it's like they knew that they needed our help. They knew that, the person who they knew from us that worked with us was getting great results. They just didn't have the money at the time, and that was fine. And so we left it for things there for now. Gave them a little bit of advice and guidance, because I just felt a genuine personality from the person, and I thought, I want to help this person. Like I said, they didn't really have the money at the time, so I wanted to help this person in any way I can. So I gave them some advice, probably more than I would usually do, but I gave a bit of advice. And then finally, the 0 to 5k community that we now run, which is like a lower tier program, but honestly, that's discrediting it to call it like a lower tier program. It's everything you need to know more about online coaching, from the basic stuff to the advanced stuff. We do webinars in there every week, like multiple. So it's very powerful. It's just like the next step ahead is proper working with us one-to-one, done for you. That's like a guarantee that we're going to win, but that's just below that, the 0 to 5k. So this opportunity came, and I presented it to the person, man. And yeah, like even from before that, like they was doing well, and they got themselves to a place where like they were doing quite decent, right? But I see them not really interacting in the 0 to 5k. Like 1 minute they're in it, 1 minute they're not. So I just reached out to them and I said, look, like how are you getting on? How are you actually getting on, right? Like this someone, that does ask questions to me like every now and again, but asked, how you actually getting on? And they said, something along the lines of, like they were in it, but then they weren't using it, but they might join it again. And I was like, okay, how are you getting on with your business client? They're like, they got about 10 clients now. And I basically just naturally said, look, like you sound like you need to level up now. Like it's time, like, you've done the cheap things. You was in a situation before, like you're in a much better place now. Like, let's level up, man. Let's take this to the, let's really like thrive with it, right? And I literally said, I'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you and just go through. Obviously, I've talked to this person for a while now. I've seen them grow from no online clients and not having a clue what they're doing to growth. And then, long story short, they agreed, jumped on a call. We booked a certain time. And look, the time they told me, I should have known from here, this was the red flags for me. I don't take calls in the morning and I don't take calls in the evening. But this was all the person had, right? And it was just a case of like, I just like the person. I know the person. Like I said, I know I'm invested in their journey. And it would have been one that would just been nice for me to see over the line. But this was a mistake from me. Reason being, a bit of mix up with the time. The first time came and apparently kind of read it wrong. And there was room to say, okay, that I might have read the time wrong. But there was room for the other, for the other side of things, that maybe the time, it was like didn't we say PM versus AM kind of vibe, right? Okay, cool. I kind of took down the chin, and I went with one of the evening times, right? Went with one of the evening times. I double clarified because I could see some there was some signs of I think they said if you can't do it right now, it's fine. I'll reach out when I'm free or whatever, right? And I didn't really like that, so I always do this technique of reverse selling, and it's not like a technique, it's just me being honest. Like, look, if you don't want to do it, just say it. I'm not forcing you in any type of way, it's fine, I can handle it. Just say, you're good. I'm just trying to help you genuinely. And they said, no, like, it would be good to hear, like, how you could help and blah, blah, blah. So we agreed that time. Long story short, it came, like, 15 minutes late, right? I just locked off the call, right? 15 minutes late, no words, no nothing, no, like, explanation, no, I'm going to be late. And I locked off the call. And I sent them a message saying, look, like, I don't really like how, you know, I can't remember, but I articulated it well, and I said, look, like, you know, I get it, you know, you probably got things going on, it's summer holidays, X, Y, and Z, but look, your communication could have been a lot better. I don't actually take sales calls, which is the truth. I don't take sales calls, and for that reason, like, you know, there's many reasons to it, but that's one of the reasons I personally, you know, when I had an opportunity, I stepped away from the sales calls, because I don't like the aspect of, you know, the times and feeling disrespected, right? And I just expressed that, look, like, if you're going to ever decide to join us or work with us, then I won't be jumping on a call with you, just letting you know, man. I hope you're all good. There's no malice, there's nothing, whatever. And then they was a bit arrogant about it, and just like, well, my call, you know, when they eventually got back, they was like, my call ran late, right? But cool, no worries, blah, 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 blah. So, thus comes the reason and the lesson behind this video. You have to know big money versus small money, okay? It might even sound arrogant, but the opportunity to talk to a mentor who could really transform your income, and who already has, like, you know, transformed your income and given you a lot of value, and without even really paying or giving them any value in it return, or, you know what I mean, like anything significant, and without seeing the real capability of what we can do to help you, is more important than even a sales call. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But especially at fitness, when you're doing entry level, when you're selling for maybe maximum £250 a month, and some people aren't even selling it for that. At that level, don't get me wrong, like, make your money. I'm not saying, like, ditch the sales call, but you have to give the person notice. You have to, you know, even cancel that call. You have to, like, not cancel the call, or cut it early, or, okay, stop the person. Don't be scared to stop that person on the call. Say, hey, just give me 5 minutes, please. I'm running late for a call. I need to let them know. I do that. It's called respect. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? So if that is truly the case, and this person just was on a sales call and was so eager on selling that they, you know, disrespected the person, or, you know, who's even kind of like guided them and helped them on that journey and can help them go really further, then you're kind of being small-minded, and you're not seeing the big money versus the small money, right? And there's a lot of examples of this. Like, we have a lot of clients, and they will get stuck in, they're usually like good performing clients, like clients that, you know, start off well, doing good with content, they know their way around. So they're not like those that are just like struggling from the get-go, because some people come in and it's not easy from the get-go, and that's fine. Everyone's got different strengths and different weaknesses, right? So some people will come in a bit struggling or with certain things, and we have to overcome certain things, and some people will come and they'll just get the hang of it straight away. But a lot of them, what they'll do is they'll go out on their own, and they won't attend our webinars. So we do webinars about 4 times a week. And this is literally me and Jav. I have like teaching lessons. We'll teach a core lesson, and then we'll answer questions. We'll literally answer any questions. We'll guide like there and then, right? And you're hearing other members of the success circle talking about their questions, people who are above you, people who are lower than you, and they're asking questions, and you're learning, and it's just a great environment. And a lot of those clients who are kind of feel like they're in a good run of things will never attend those, and we always try and push those people to attend the webinars, because your learning isn't done. You know, you book your 1-2 calls with us every so often, but like, your learning isn't done. To be around that energy to learn. And don't get me wrong, I've been on the reverse of that, where I've been in mentorships, and like, you know, they do like calls every single day. And sometimes it's the reverse, where you get sucked into the calls, because we do have clients like that as well, where you attend every single flipping call, but you need to focus on your business as well. Do you know what I mean? Don't risk getting overwhelmed or getting behind, or like you're turning up to call and you got so much shit you haven't done, and you're going to spend that hour just watching the screen. No, I'm not saying don't do that. However, I am saying that, yes, like, you know, you'll be stuck, like, you can be doing the day-to-day stuffs of, you know, sending DMs and booking calls and making your 250 sales and your 1,000 sales or whatever every so often, but don't forget to top in and get a deposit, you know, just top in and fill up the, you know, the tank with that real big money energy, that real, like, you know, aspirational and how can I thrive energy. Okay, so this is a lesson to everybody listening, man. Like we all have opportunities and different scenarios in our lives where we have to look over it and we have to kind of debate and see, like, where am I risking the small money versus the big money. So I talked about earlier that I don't do sales calls anymore, and there's a reason for that. And listen, us doing sales calls would probably like increase our like the money we make by like 20%, right? Literally, because let's say the closing rate now is 40%. The closing rate is going to increase by 20% if we take our sales calls, because there's just a certain level of congruity, of synchronization, where you have the person who is actually like the runs the program, is the CEO, is the owner, whatever, and is actually the person jumping on the call and talking to you. You're gonna feel a bit more of a connection, like, okay, I know this person. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all concurrent. So for that reason, the closing rate will always be higher when the main person who's selling the program is taking the sales call as well. But however, regardless of that, it is still worth more money to us and more of our time and whatever by winning more of our time and not taking those sales calls, because we can think, breathe, brainstorm, go on other mentorships, decide, make other plans or that will allow us to 10x the business, rather than just saving that little 20%, saving that 10%. Do you know what I mean? And a little like sub lesson in this as well, right? Respect is so important. What taught me to be able, let me just make sure that this is still running. Yeah, we're still running. Might be a bit dark, but we're running. So what taught me and gave me the energy to be able to like burn a lead like that? Because that's what I bet essentially it is, right? This is someone that could have paid us, I don't know, a couple hundred, like I don't know, whatever they might have paid or been able to pay and whatever, but this was a lead that I just burnt, right? And I feel no way about it. And to be honest with you, like I feel better now, and even talking on the camera and turning the situation around so it's like a positive learning experience for someone else watching. What made me so calm with this is I remember, man, like I used to take sales calls so personally, to the point where like it affected me, my mood, my lifestyle, everything. And I've done a lot of like, not a lot, but I did like 4 therapy sessions. I always say it, 4 or 5 therapy sessions. And it was in one of the first therapy sessions that I did that, she helped me with that by, letting me know that, look, like, you are not your business. And such a like profound statement, but it's very important to learn and know, like, you are not your business. So sometimes we reflect the outcome of a sales call on ourselves, right? Like, okay, this person didn't buy, or there's something wrong with me or my program, or I'm not as good as these other coaches and whatever. And it was, to tell the truth to you, it was a dark time. It was a dark time because I didn't have an outlet or anyone at the time when I was going through that to speak to and to let, me and Jav was both doing it, and we both felt this energy, but I think we didn't even know what it was we was feeling, right? But yeah, I used to take sales calls so personal. And one of the things that really, and even just leads in general, right? Because you're there, you want to make money, you want to do business, you want to, grow your business, so you're going hard, you're having these conversations with people, and you're getting bought in. Like every single good lead, right, is like potentially a lead and money, and you're so bought into it. So if it crashes or anything goes wrong, you're feeling a bit of a way, right? And you're definitely not going to do anything on your side to like crash that or to ruin the lead. And I remember, man, I always say, like, and I want to make a video about this, the Glaswegian who changed my life, man. Glaswegian, is that the name? I don't know if that's the way to actually say it, but a guy from Glasgow, I'm sure that is actually how you say it, Glaswegian, but a guy from Glasgow who actually got me onto our first like proper life-changing mentorship that Javen, I told Javen about as well. He jumped on and we both did it, and yeah, it was life-changing for many ways, right? Like really helped me in just learning that abundance mind state. But another thing that the same guy did whilst I was working with them was we had a call. I had a call with him, and I remember he was just talking about little different things, and he just mentioned that if like he's had people, I think we used to talk about people hanging up on us. So this is the kind of stuff you face. You might still face it now, hopefully not. Like nowadays, the game, you learn more to just qualify your leads, man. Don't just take calls with everybody. Don't just try and book calls with everybody. So hopefully it happens less to people now. But you know, we talk about like people that would hang up or just do little dodgy, disrespectful stuff like that on a call. And I remember him saying that, look, if someone like hangs up on me on a call or something like that, I delete them, I block them, and I you know, then they'll never hear from me again, right? And I think it might not even been hang up. It might have been something less offensive than that, right? And I remember thinking that, like, right, like, they hang up and, like, or not that they hang up, that you block them. And it sounds crazy, but I literally thought, like, that was crazy because our whole thing and ethos was, like, you follow up till till something drops off, you know what I mean? Like, you just keep follow up the, you know, you hear the saying, the money's in the follow-up. So our whole ethos was, like, you know, keep following up with somebody. And I'd have people who, like I said, like, yeah, would do disrespectful things like hang up or ghost you. They might not be like, and when someone hangs up, it's not, you know, usually they can always say, oh, my internet cut off or this happened, but somehow they don't get back to you, right? Do you know, like those little sly, disrespectful remarks and ways of doing things? And I would still be thinking, oh, fuck, and I would be scared. That's just the truth. Like, there's no way around it. I would be scared to cut ties with that person and to continue to just grow my business. But the way he put it was like, look, someone hangs up or does anything like that, I'm going to cut off, I'm going to block them, delete them off everything, and I'm going to move on. And he blocked them, delete them, so he never messages them again, like, to make sure. And I thought that was powerful, man. I realized that, and he said, look, like, there's another, for every client like that, there's another 10 clients that are good clients. They want my service, they'll pay for my service. And that's self-respect, man. And as a business, it's so important. Never give off that desperate energy. Never force anybody who doesn't want to be on your program or doesn't want to jump on a call. Don't never, like, you know, put yourself beneath. It's like the video I just put out yesterday. Like, you know, don't let anyone dim your light. You know what I mean? Like, don't let anyone make you feel like, oh, you're hounding them or whatever. Or nah, man, don't do that. Don't take no disrespect, okay? Because that disrespect and that desperate energy is readable, and people see it, smell it from a mile off, and you actually lose leads like that. Because the time you spend, and we had DM setters before, we cut them off now. The time that they were spending chasing shitty leads that clearly didn't want to jump on a call, clearly were not interested, clearly were giving off bad energy, the time they spent on that, they wasted when they could have been talking to the leads that were actually good. They just needed a bit more, like, information, a bit more guidance, maybe a bit more nurturing. Like, send them some content, send them some YouTube videos of ours, let them get to know us first. Take your time with it, you know? So I think the same goes for any of you watching, especially the coaches. So look, man, I think that's just under 20 minutes. I'm happy about that one, man. Got that one off my chest. Abundance energy only, man. You know what I mean? Listen, if you're watching this 7th of September, the Fitness Business Breakthrough, me and Javen, the otherwise known as the OHB Academy, it's a big team now. We are running our 3rd event, and it's going to be the biggest event yet. We've got a live workout by none other than Jim Busy, big fitness team. We've got Damien Scannell, aka Super Dad Damo. We've got PMAC Fitness, big influencer PMAC, and more guest speakers talking about how they grew their businesses, grow their following, their content. You know, doing live. We've got a live workout there on a day. We've got DJ. We've got food. We've got networking. It's going to be a fucking vibe. I'm looking forward to it, like, generally, in myself, just being there and getting to be a part of something that's not done enough in the UK, right? So I'm really excited about this. We've sold over 15% of the tickets. It's only been 7 days, or maybe even be a bit less than that. So look, man, it's going to be lit. If you want to get some tickets, it's in London, 7th of September. Check the link below, be in the description somewhere. But yeah, man, that's me. Peace.